Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are joining me today for the first time. My name is Lucy and today I created this look using the more neutral tones in the James and Morphe palette. When I say neutral, I mean more earthy tones. Obviously you can see it's not a neutral look, but I did use the more brown tones and the warmer oranges and stuff like that. So if you do want to see how I created this look, then just keep watching.
Sometimes I just need a light if I call you on the phone and you're on the other side.
So as always, I have just filled in my brows because it just saves us some time. I used the Morphe micro brow pencils in the shades Biscotti in the front ends and then Latte on the tail ends of my brow. And I have primed my lids using the P. Louise base. So now I'm going to head onto eyeshadow. So in my last video, I used the James Charles collaboration palette with Morphe, and I used all the rainbow colours in that look. So I wanted to do the same today, but using the more neutral colours. So all of the ones around sort of this region of the palette. And see what I can come up with really. Whilst I am filming this as well, I have also asked over on my Instagram story for you guys to send in some questions so I can answer some of those whilst I'm doing my makeup. So let's just get into it. So the first shade I'm going in with from the palette today is the shade Benny, which is the second down on the right hand side. This is like a dark sort of plum mauvey colour. I know that on camera it's probably just going to pick up as like black or a really dark brown, but it is more of a purpley toned shade, and I'm taking that on an Anastasia A14 brush because you guys know this is one of my favourite brushes to pack on the colour in the crease, and I'm just going to run that through my crease first. Whilst I do this, I have had a question in that says, how many followers did you have when you got your first PR package, and what brand was it? So that's actually a question I get asked quite a lot. I believe I was on around 4,000 to 5,000 followers, and this was back in September last year, so September 2017, and it was a brand called Eldora False Eyelashes, and I do actually still use their lashes. I went to an event up in Manchester for them last month. So yeah, they were the first people to ever contact me, and that was such a big sort of milestone in my makeup journey, because any of my friends would know that when I started my page, obviously no one was really like into the whole makeup Instagram thing. Like, I feel like I started at a time where not that many people were doing it, so I was sort of really excited to get to that level where people were wanting to send me stuff. And when I got the email, I was so excited because obviously I didn't have the biggest following, and it was very, you know, just a very new experience. And they very kindly sent me over 25 pairs of their Halloween lashes. So they were all like the big, bold, dramatic, like colourful lashes and stuff like that, so I could use those in my Halloween looks that year. So yeah, that was my first ever PR package. So the next colour I'm picking up is the shade No Beans here. This is the second from the right in the middle row. This is a dark brown shade, and I'm picking that up on a Makeup Addiction pencil brush and running that on top of that dark colour. Someone else has asked me, how long have you been practicing and how long did it take for you to get your skills? So I started doing makeup maybe around, so I've had my page for about 1.5 years, so about 2 years ago I would have thought. 2 years. Yeah, about Christmas time. 2 years ago I would have thought, so probably around 2 years. And at the beginning I wasn't really practicing any new skills. I was just sort of trying to polish up on the things I already knew. And then it was probably around a couple of months later I started practicing things like cut creases, just things I had seen like on Instagram, on YouTube, on Pinterest and stuff like that, and I started practicing those. And then I just became really in love with experimenting and practicing and pushing myself out of my comfort zone, because it was all things I had never tried before. And ever since then I would come home from school every day and pick up a new palette or a new colour and just experiment and just practice. And I really believe that that is like the key to, you know, learning and to improving your skills, is really just pushing yourself out your comfort zone. And that's what I was doing every day when I would come home from school. I was just creating looks and taking photos of them, and then that's obviously what inspired me to start my page, and then it just went from there. Now I'm picking up the shade Code James, which is right in the center of the palette. This is actually one of my favorite shades in the palette. I'm not sure why, it's just a really, really lovely sort of warm orange brown color. And I'm picking that up on a Makeup Addiction tapered crease brush and obviously running that over the top of the two shadows I've already put down. So I've got another question. This is quite an interesting one. It's quite a vague one. It just says, tell us more about yourself, your life, your dreams, your aspirations and inspirations. Love your work. So thank you, first of all. So right now I don't really know what I want to do in the future. I don't really have sort of an aspiration to be something as such. I just want to be happy and successful and, you know, doing what I love, which is obviously at this moment in time makeup. So I would love to obviously see myself in the future doing makeup, but I think it's quite hard to tell what you want to do, and I'm someone who really has no idea. I know a lot of people at this age do know what they want to do. They go to uni, they study, but I have no idea. So that's quite an interesting question for me to answer. So I realised that I probably didn't get much footage doing the rest of my blending then. I just sort of went into a zone. Anyone who does makeup will sort of understand. Sometimes you just get in your zone and you just want to get it done, and that's what happened. So I do apologise if I didn't show any footage of me doing the rest. All I did is I just went back through the same colours I've used and built them up and make sure they were like more vibrant and showing. Now I'm going to cut my crease using the P. Louise base, which is there, and my Zoeva 144 brush, and I'm going to cut it into a halo shape. Now you can see I have cut both my creases into place. Now I'm just going to go back in with the same brushes I used in the beginning and the same colours. So I'm starting with Benny, which is this dark one here, and working it in from the outer and inner corners inwards. I have actually just had two questions come in at the same time, coincidentally, asking what is a product I couldn't live without, and I feel like I might have answered this before in a previous video, but the product I could not live without is definitely clear brow gel or clear mascara. Anyone who knows me knows that on a daily basis I don't wear any makeup at all, as in like I don't wear mascara, I don't put my brows on, I literally just use clear mascara or brow gel, and with that I just literally sort of run it through my brows, make sure they're in place, and then I just put a bit on my lashes to make sure my lashes have got a little bit of shape as well, and that's literally it. So if I was stuck on a desert island, I would definitely need to have clear brow gel with me, because at least that can give me a little bit of more life to my face. Even though it doesn't actually add any product, it still just sort of makes all the difference in the morning. The next shade I'm taking is this shimmer shade right at the top of the palette. This is called Halloween. It's sort of a rusty coppery shade, and I'm just taking that on the inner and outer corners next to where I just put Benny. Now right in the center of my lid I am going to go in with a Peaches and Cream glitter pigment, because these are my favorite pigments in the entire world. If you guys have not yet tried a Peaches and Cream pigment, you really need to. I could not recommend a glitter more in my life if I tried. I recommend these to everyone. I use them on my clients, on myself, and they are just beautiful. So if you don't have one, I definitely recommend putting it on your Christmas wish list, because they are amazing. Anyways, this is the shade Cheetah. As you can see, if it's going to focus, it is a beautiful sort of orange gold shade. I think it's more of a sort of coppery orange, but it looks beautiful, and I'm going to use it today on my lid. By the way, that whole part there about the Peaches pigments, that is not an ad, this is not a promo. I just genuinely love their products so much, and I really do believe that anyone who's into glitter or shimmer or anything sparkly really needs to get their hands on them, because they are really good. Before I put that pigment down, I am just taking a little bit of the NYX glitter primer. I do normally use the Peaches one, but mine's actually run out, so I've gone to use my NYX one, and I'm just patting that onto my lid where the pigment's gonna go. Oh my god, I hope you can see that, because that is so pretty. It's literally like a bright orange, but it's like a goldeny orange. Oh my god, that is so pretty. Now that I'm finished with the eyes and putting that pigment on, I am going in with the Coffee Gel Liner by Morphe. This is just a dark brown shade. Turns out I use this more than I thought I did. A lot of people always ask me if this is better than using black. And in my opinion, I actually prefer to use a brown such as this one, just because I think it gives a bit of more of a softer effect. If you're looking to get started in maybe gel liners, I would always recommend going for a brown one first. Like I said, this one is Coffee by Morphe and I really get on with this one, so I would recommend it to anyone who wants to try it. So I'm just going to move on to my face for the time being. I'm not sure why I just clapped. So I'm just going to move onto my face for the time being. So I'm going to start by moisturising as I always do before I start with my foundation. And as I do that, I've just got another question saying, if you could switch lives with anyone for a day, who would it be? And that's actually a really good question. I don't think that's one I've really thought about before. I think the generic answer to something like that would be someone like Kim Kardashian, Kylie, Jenner, someone like that, to see obviously what it's like to be so in the public eye and so famous, really. But honestly, this is going to sound a bit cringy, but I think I'd love to switch lives with people who are less fortunate, who are living in the LEDC countries, who don't have as much, you know, food, like they don't have big nice houses, they don't really have much. I think I'd love to switch lives with them for a day just to see what it's like and to get a better understanding of the conditions they live in. And I know that probably sounds really like cliche, but I honestly would really love to see a life lived in that sort of way, because it's just something so different and something that a lot of us aren't familiar with. So I think I'd really love to switch lives with someone in a different country, but also if we're switching, it means that they'd get to live a day in my life as well. And I think that would be quite nice for them to experience. I know obviously I'm speaking as though this is going to happen, but it's not, unfortunately. I wish it could. But yeah, I think that's who I would choose. Just before I set anything in place, I'm also going to take some of the Iconic London Illuminated drops. These are in the original shade, just the ones that everyone seems to talk about. I have actually tried these. I've had these for about a week now, and the colour is a little dark for my skin, but they are really, really pretty on the skin and they give such a nice glow. So I'm just going to apply that onto my cheekbones before I put the powder on top. Then I'm taking the Anastasia contour kit in light to medium, and I'm just going to contour using a mixture of the bottom two shades here. So whilst I do that, I've just had another question saying, if you didn't get into makeup full time, what job would you have loved to do? So first of all, I'm actually not in makeup full time. A lot of people think that I do makeup on Instagram and on YouTube and stuff as my full-time job or hobby. I do also have another job still. I am part-time working at a trampoline park, which is a very random job, and a lot of people are very shocked when they hear that. But I've actually been a marshal at a trampoline park since before I even started my makeup account, so I'm still there for the time being because makeup's not bringing me the income I need to quit my other job, if that makes sense. But hopefully in the new year I'll be earning some more makeup money from makeup, and I can leave my job and do this full time. To go over the top of that Iconic London Illuminator we put down, I'm taking the Makeup Addiction Light Reflecting Loose Powder. This is in the shade Snow Gold, and this is really, really pretty. I've had it tucked away in a box for a while, so I haven't actually used it in a while. But oh my gosh, there's so much product come out of that. But it is really, really nice when I do use it, so I'm going to take that today.
I feel the rain crashing down all around this empty town.
So I've obviously just finished my skin. Now I'm coming back in for the under eyes. I do just want to apologise that obviously I have been slacking answering questions. To be honest with you, I haven't really been checking my phone. I just want to get this video done because there's other things I want to do today. I want to see my friends and stuff like that. So I can do a whole separate sort of get to know me video and sit down and answer your questions if you would prefer to do something like that. But I think when I'm doing my makeup, I'm just sort of on a roll. I'm just in with the swing of doing my makeup, and I kind of forget to check my phone and answer questions. And whilst I talk, whilst I'm doing my makeup, it takes me a hell of a lot longer to do. So I would would just rather get my makeup done and then answer questions afterwards. So I can do a video like that if you want to know more about me as well. Coming back to the James and Morphe palette, I am taking the shade Benny, which is the dark purple shade we started with in the crease, and I'm taking that right under my eye. Then I'm going straight into the shade Code James, which is the burnt orangey brownie shade, and blending that out. And in the middle of those two shades, I'm taking the shade 10% Off, which is the slightly darker warm orange brown colour, and I'm just merging them together. Okay, I've just popped some lashes on. These are by Rouge and Rogue in the style Lady Killer. Now I'm on to lips, which is obviously the final step. So I've been going back and forth in my head between brown or nude, brown or nude. Obviously we've gone quite dark on the eyes, so I wasn't really sure, and I know a lot of people are going to be screaming at the phone screen or whatever you're watching this on thinking, go nude, but I think I want to do a dark lip, and I know that it's obviously not really sort of, well, it is actually technically still autumn, but people are thinking, you know, more party season, Christmas season, but I'm gonna go for a brown lip, and obviously if I hate it I can go for nude and change it, but I'm just thinking, you know, why not go for brown? So I'm taking the Kylie lip liner. This is in True Brown K. I've had this for so long. I literally got this on her first ever official launch of the lip kits on her website, but I don't really use it very often because obviously it's not every day you do a dark brown lip, but I'm going to use this. Then I'm going in with the Anastasia Malt Liquid Lipstick, and finally finishing it off with a little bit of the Morphe lip topper in the shade Mind Reader, just because it matches similar to the shade that I've got on my eyes. So this is my finished look using the more neutral tones in the James and Morphe palette. Obviously when I came into this I wasn't expecting to come out with orange and brown and a dark brown lip, but I mean sometimes, you know, your creative mind just takes you places you don't think you're gonna go, and that's exactly what happened today. But I hope you guys enjoyed nonetheless, and if you did then make sure to leave a thumbs up and a comment below. Obviously only nice comments please. I don't want to wake up to any nasty comments. That's not the way we roll around here. Don't forget also to subscribe to my channel if you are not already, and if you want to see more of my videos in the future. Also you can follow me over on my Instagram, which is @Lsgmakeup. I will leave it on screen as I always do, and you can follow me over on there as well if you want to. But for now that is all, so thank you so much for watching as always, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.